Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we're working with systems of equations, but this time instead of graphing, we're working with substitution. So your assignment was to do evens, so we're going to walk through some of them together. I'm going to get you started on some, and then some you are going to do on your own. So let's go ahead and we're going to look at number 2. So with number 2, we know that we need to start off with an x or a y isolated. So we know that y equals negative 5x minus 10. So I'm going to take that value and we are going to substitute in for the y. So let's rewrite the equation with the y substituted in. So negative 3x minus, not going to put y, I'm going to put negative 5x minus 10 equals 8. Now, ready to solve it and figure out what x equals. So, remember that we have this negative that we need to distribute. Negative times negative 5x, that gives us a positive 5x. Negative times negative 10 gives us a positive 10. Bring down everything else. Combine like terms. Okay? I know that this negative 3x and this 5x, they can combine. So that's going to give me 2x plus 10 equals 8. Minus 10 minus 10. So 2x equals negative 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2, x equals negative 1. So, halfway there. We have our x, but we don't know what y is yet. So, here's our x. We know this is x. We're going to take that x and we're going to substitute it back into this equation. Okay? We're going to take it and we're going to substitute it for our x. So let's rewrite our equation and let's solve it. So y equals negative 5. I'm not going to put x. I'm going to put that negative 1 minus 10. Then solve it. So negative 5 times negative 1 gives me 5 minus 10, which equals negative 5. So, looking at our points, negative 1 is our x, negative 5 is our y. So, our final answer for number 2 is negative 1, negative 5. Remember that x always comes first, y always comes second. Okay, let's move over. Let's look at number 3. Okay, it's not so. Number 3, we know that y equals 7x minus 13. So we're going to take that and we're going to plug it in, substitute in for the y. So let's work it out. So we have 4x minus, I'm not going to put y, I'm going to put in 7x minus 13 equals 7. Now, going through and solving, we've got to distribute the negative. Negative times 7 is negative 7x. Negative times negative 13 is a positive 13. Bring everything else down. Okay, combining like terms. We can combine our 4x and our negative 7x. That leaves us negative 3x plus 13 equals 7. Minus 13, minus 13. That leaves us with negative 3x equals 7 minus 13. That's going to leave us with a negative 6. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. X equals a positive 2. So we are part way there. So we're going to take this 2, and then we're going to go into the equation that we've not used yet. This 2, we're going to substitute in for our x. So let's rewrite that equation and put it in. So y equals 7 times, I'm not going to put x, I'm going to put 2, because we know x equals 2, minus 13. Oh, I changed colors. Minus 13. Now, solving it. 7 times 2 is 14, minus 13 equals 1. So, our 2 coordinates, x is 2, y is 1. So, there is our final answer. Now, guys, there's a lot of work on these. I would recommend a separate sheet of paper so you can make sure to show all of your steps. Okay? Now, let's go ahead. Let's move on. Okay? Just so that it's not so muddled, I'm going to make these go away. And let's look at number 4. So, number 4, you have y equals 7. Okay? You're going to start out, you already know the y. You're going to take that y and you're going to plug it in. Okay? So, that's going to, when you rewrite that equation, you're going to have negative 7x minus 3. But you're not going to write y. Instead, you're going to write what y equals. It equals 7. Equals negative 14. Solve that equation. You will have x. Put it together and you will have your coordinates, x and y. Looking at number 5. Okay, we already know that y equals this 3x minus 1. We're going to take that and put it in our other equation. So let's rewrite that equation. Negative 5x minus, I'm not going to put y though. I'm going to put what y equals. 3x minus 1 equals 1. Now, solving it. Distribute. Negative times 3x is negative 3x. Negative times negative 1 is a positive 1. Bring down our other pieces. Combine like terms. Negative 5x and negative 3x give us a negative 8x plus 1 equals 1. Minus 1 minus 1. So that leaves us with negative 8x equals 0. Divide by negative 8, divide by negative 8, x equals 0. Not done yet. We know what x equals, but we don't know y. We're going to take that x, and we're going to take it and substitute it up here for this x. So, y equals 3. I'm not going to write x though. I'm going to put that 0 in. Minus 1. 3 times 0 is 0. Minus 1 equals negative 1. So our points, 0, negative 1. There's your answer. Okay, number 6. So, with number 6, we know what y equals. We know that this is our y. So, it's going to be substituted in for this y. So, rewriting the equation, 7x plus 4. Oh, I'm about to mess up because I don't want to write y. Instead of writing y, I need to be putting in what y equals. 6x plus 12 equals 17. Okay, so you're going to solve that equation. You will figure out what x equals. After you solve it and figure out what x equals, you will substitute that x in this equation, and then you will have your points. Okay, let's go down. Let's look at number 7. To get you another example. Okay, number 7. We know that y equals 4x minus 6. we're going to take that and substitute in this equation. So let's rewrite it. 8x minus 2. I'm not going to write y. I'm going to put in what y equals. 4x plus 6 equals negative 12. Okay, going ahead and solving that. Negative 2 times 4x is negative 8x. Negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. Bring down everything else. Combine like terms. Okay? When we do this, 8x minus 8x equals 0. Those cancel out and we end up with negative 12 equals negative 12. Okay? So looking at this one, we're going to have a special case situation. So another way that we can look at it is if we look at this equation and we change it into slope-intercept form, because the first equation already is. Let's double check what this would look like. 8x minus 2y equals negative 12. Okay, minus 8x minus 8x. That leaves me negative 2y equals negative 8x minus 12. Just reversing the order. Divide by 2, or negative 2, divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. Okay, y equals, that's going to be 4x plus 6. Okay, so a couple of things here. This is a special case situation. So I ended up with a true statement. The variables canceled and I'm left with a true statement. Okay, when my variables cancel and I'm left with a true statement, it means infinite number of solutions. I've also verified it because I know that this equation and this equation are identical. If we graphed them, then it would be a line right on top of another line. So our answer is infinite number of solutions. So this is one of our special cases. Okay, so moving on over, let's look at number 8. Okay, number 8. We know that y equals negative 6x minus 8. So you're going to take that. You're going to be able to take it and put it straight in for your y. You're going to rewrite that equation. Negative x plus 8. I'm not going to put y. I'm going to put what y equals. Negative 6x minus 8 equals, I'm going to change back to my blue, equals negative 15. Solve it. That will give you what x equals. Then you're going to take what x equals and you're going to substitute right here in for this equation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that leaves you just a couple more problems that you are going to finish up on your own for your homework.